Hello everyone and welcome back to CSCI 419. Today we will talk about the work breakdown structure. And we have a blank here that we can see. Let me explain. First of all, the purpose of this is to break the project down into chunks. And usually they're weekly or bi-weekly, and the idea is you have a meeting every week or every other week to discuss progress. Usually the managers are there. Just saying. Um, A lot of comments, question I get is, well, if I'm just doing this by myself, do I need a WBS? Yes, you do. You need it for this course, and I've needed to do it out in industry. I've had several courses, several projects where I'm the only person that's working on it, but I still had to do the equivalent of a work breakdown structure. We call it something different, but it's the same idea. I will just go ahead and tell you up front that careers are made or broken based on this document. This little thing here, the CCT, estimated completion date, those can turn into deadlines, particularly if it's something that's called a deliverable. That is something you got to deliver either back to the boss or you got to deliver it to the customer. Boss is bad enough, customers even worse if you start missing them. Okay, so I'm first going to show you how I don't want this filled out. And if somebody's just saying, yes, I'm just going to fill a requirement and I'm going to get the check in the block and they hand me something like this. We talk about plan, programming, and test. That's fine. That's a good way to break it down. But notice that the ECD on all of these is the last possible minute, and they say they're all in progress. Well, this isn't a breakdown. This is just telling me I'll have the thing done on time. Don't worry. Well, I don't have to worry because it's not my grade, but your boss will be unhappy because he gets to explain to you when you don't explain to his boss when you don't get things done in time, or worse yet, he has to explain it to the customer. And basically what happens with this, there is no warning that the project is not going well until the last possible moment, until you get an angry discussion with either the boss or the customer. So to help you out with that, I'm going to give you a little bit of opportunity to practice one of these before you get out in industry. Okay, you see here I've got the course content and tentative course schedule. What happens is for this project, like a lot of other projects, you do not have the skills right now that you will need to do this project. I understand that. So what I have done is I've taken a look at when you were covering the various parts of this, and I have factored that into the work breakdown structure, and you'll see that. Okay, looking at the work breakdown structure. Okay, notice I have a generic breakdown in plan, build, test, and evaluate. That's pretty much a standard structure there because there's a little bit of parallel processing you can do. You can actually start the planning, and you can be partially done with the planning and still be able to start actually building. For example, for the plan, you notice we got a product charter, which you should have already done. The functional requirements, which you should have already done. With the functional requirements, you have to start building tables. Week 6, this week, you should have the materials needed for that. And there needs to be at least 9 tables, by the way. Okay, the ERD, the entity relationship diagram, I'm not asking for that till week 9. You really can't finalize the database structure until you get that done, but you can at least get a good start on it. Okay, build, I have build database structure and build UI structure. That's basically a back-end, front-end thing that's pretty well standard with a database project. And you, as usual, you could actually start building the database structure well before you could start building the UI structure. Database structure's got to be pretty well along before you actually start building the user interface. Okay, the method to my madness on this, as I said, build tables that you can actually start in week 6, because week 6 I tell you how to create a table. Make sample data. You can also start that in week 6 because I also tell you how to insert information into a SQL database. Your other database objects, we will continue to study those. We'll be complete with week 9. So I'm saying that week 13, you should be complete with all the database objects. Okay, the reports. The reports should pretty much come from your functional requirements. You can start those. The material you'll need to be able to actually do those in Apex will be week 10, so I'm giving you till week 13 to do that. Your forms and your reports, that's the front end, that's the last thing you have to do. So I'm saying the forms, you have the material presented in week 11, and all your materials completed in week 12, so to target date for that is week 14. Okay, testing and employment, you can start doing the test plan as you start developing the interface and all that. Test and adjust should be 1 week, and you should be able to adjust that. Exam week, you have to give it to me. Now, your evaluation in this case will be a form of evaluation by you truly. In the workplace, you usually get together with the other people from the project, and you'll get together with the management. You say, hey, what went well, what didn't go well, because hopefully there's another project on the horizon so that you will continue to be employed. Okay, and I will post this generic sample to give you a go-by, and I'll give you a blank. I'm not going to give you the wrong answer because you don't need an example of how to do it wrong. Anyway, I hope this helps explain the work breakdown structure, and I will talk with you later.